Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Forest Job, where today we're taking on West Ham United at the City Ground in the Premier League. You can see by the looks of the league table on the right-hand side and by the result in the bottom left-hand corner, things are going pretty well for us at the moment. We are still in 8th position, but we are only 3 points behind Manchester United in 7th, and importantly for our European aspirations, we're only 6 points behind Chelsea and West Ham United in 5th and 6th position. If we were to beat West Ham United today, it would be a massive marker thrown down and would potentially kickstart our European journey next season. Of course, we're in the semi-finals of the Europa League as it is. If we were to win that, well, I mean, well, I don't even know what to say. If we were to win that, that would be absolutely insane. But we have beaten Borussia Dortmund before, and we've beaten them handily. Anyway, before we get into today's match against West Ham, let's have a look back on the action at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium that you missed out from last time. Okay, and we're back. So I think you'll agree, Nyangbo suddenly has become an absolutely deadly weapon for us up front. I'm very interested to see how long this lasts before I lambast him after another awful performance. Anyway, today's match, as I said, is against West Ham. Let's have a look at the game plan while we're going through all of the changes that we're going to have to make, because it looks like there are a couple that we are going to have to make. I would like to invite you guys, if you're new and if you would like to see more of this kind of stuff, then remember to click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and that way you'll get notified whenever a new episode of the Forest Job drops. As well as that, if you'd like to drop a like on the episode, that would be beautiful, especially if you did actually enjoy the show. I'm certainly not going to force you into liking it for the sake of liking it. We have to feed the almighty algorithm that is YouTube, and if it were to get a few likes, then this video might just find its way into a few other people's suggestions, and that would certainly help the viewing figures. As it is, we're doing all right. I'm perfectly happy with it as it is, but obviously everybody wants to do better than they did do last time, don't they? That's just human nature. So we're going to make a few changes here. Oriol Busquets coming out and Yates coming in. I don't think Yates is going to last with us too much longer. Um, Busquets will get a place on the bench. I think he's probably going to get in ahead of, well, who could he get in ahead of? I think Mallejo might miss out, although he's been excellent for us in the last couple of matches that we've played. So Mallejo can come in, or drop, sorry, to the bench. Oriol Busquets can sit on the bench as a emergency measure. Hugma can play in defensive midfield as well, we all know that. And since Nyangbo is in such good form, let's throw him up front again. We have been playing, as you guys will know from yesterday's video, when I moved Hadji up alongside the centre forward to make essentially a 4-4-2. We've been doing that a lot, and actually we played that formation almost from the get-go against Tottenham the other day, and we got a good result from it. So don't be surprised if we do end up going to the 4-4-2 sooner rather than later in this match, as we click the kick-off button and we go on our merry way to the City Ground in Nottingham, where we'll be taking on the away team, West Ham United, who are having a ridiculously good season by West Ham's somewhat spotty standards. I love West Ham. I grew up in an area where West Ham were the predominant Premier League team. I've got nothing but good things to say about them. But I think we can all we can all admit that West Ham have not necessarily always been the best team. They're having a good season of it at the moment. Actually, I'm glad to see they're doing pretty well under David Moyes, and I hope that that does continue, because they're a team that I would always like to see in the Premier League, and if they could even push as far as to getting into the Europa League, I think that would be very, very exciting for West Ham and their fans. Although, if you've seen any of those clips of West Ham fans furious after they were beaten by a team of Romanian farmers, I think one of them called them, then you'll understand that maybe the reason I want them in the Europa League is as much for comedy value as it is for anything else. As we do a pretty good job of winning the ball back after giving it away in the midfield. Yates has so far justified his inclusion, as we let the ball go now, and Haller, who no longer is with West Ham, gives it to Demarai Gray, who apparently no longer at Leicester. Now Gray again. He's a bit of a pacey merchant. We're going to have to keep an eye out on him, as Ivanovic looks to lob one forward. Williams is underneath it and gets his head on it. Only goes as far as Souček. And Bamba is going to have to knock it long up the pitch. Nyangbo manhandled, which is very much unlike him. Worrell. I wanted to follow the run of Nyangbo with that pass, and it didn't quite come off for us, unfortunately. But maybe if I had put a bit more power on the pass, it would have done what I wanted it to. As Yates gets the ball in midfield, heads it onto Arcas. Hadji looking for Nyangbo, couldn't quite get to it in time. Reactions were a little bit slow from the centre forward. Now West Ham have it, and they can try to break, although Bremer does an excellent job. Oh, Centurion's tied himself in knots there. He's got himself all dizzy. Bremer again, excellent defensive header. He's a linchpin for us in defence when the ball is in the air. And a free kick is given against West Ham. I was worried that that might be given against us, although I don't know why it should be. But good lord, that is a collision. That is a collision. In real life, I would expect that to be a concussion job, that, which you'd never like to see in football. But there we are. Now Williams with the ball from the goalkeeper. Just dinks it over the top for Centurion. It's a nice little play. Comes loose. Arcas eventually ends up with it. And Yates plays it right into the feet of Souček. And Diop plays a long one down the middle of the park, which Bremer and Haller will challenge for. Hadji is just a little bit lightweight occasionally. He can lose the ball easily, but he's such a fast, mobile midfielder with a great range of passing that he can make up for those slight physical failings Another one for Bremer, who just deals with it so easily. Well, I was just complimenting his range of passing, and he's let us down a little bit with that one, hasn't he? Here's Haller. Now Bertoglio. He makes very good olive oil. Kamara over the top. And I think that will be a goal kick. It should be a goal kick. Indeed it is. So Samba restarts play. One of my... That's weird. I'm just going to check this because one of my instructions has been taken off. In fact, while I'm in here, I am going to make that change. We're going to go to the centre forwards. Let's see what we can do with two men playing alongside each other in the middle of the park. Arcas, Yates, Hadji, Wilson, Nyangbo's got a chance here. Oh, he's put it the wrong side of the post. Well, it's most unlike him recently. Normally, if Nyangbo shoots, Nyangbo scores. And it was a lovely build-up play. Harry Wilson slipping into the feet of Nyangbo, who turned his man. But unfortunately, only the AI can score goals such as that. As Diaz takes the goal kick, and Bremer is underneath this one with Haller, and Haller wins out. Frimpong looking to win the ball. That's a lovely tackle from the young fullback. Oh, we're in trouble here though. West Ham are pressing. Suchek to Ivanovic. Can Ivanovic get the ball into the area? Oh, that's going to be a free kick. Just cover the run so that it goes to this next one. Now we have to be careful here. Haller. Oh, I thought that was dipping over the goalkeeper and underneath the crossbar there. Acres of space for him. Should have done better. Very lucky he didn't. Samba restarts things with Bremer on the left-hand side of the penalty area here. Gives it to Willems, but ends up having to play it all the way back. Wilson. Now Bremer. Arcas, who's sitting quite deep at the moment. Played into Centurion. Couldn't quite get the ball to him in time. The defender does well to intercept. That's something else that I never seem to be able to do around my own penalty area. It's just walk across and intercept the ball as Worrell gets up high and claims that header. The whistle goes and half-time is called. 0-0 after 45 minutes played. Not many chances to speak of in that half. Hopefully it will be a bit more to and fro in the second. Just make sure that is switched on. Sometimes you just have to tickle it to remind it. They are playing 5 at the back. Change that back to conservative again. And I think maybe Hadji can... Actually, you know what? Hadji, being right-footed, he can go on the left. Wilson's not really done too much. And we'll just play Wilson off of Nyangbo for a little bit and see what he can do. And then if nothing of consequence happens in the first 10-15 minutes, I think Hernandez is going to get a call off of the bench. The benefit of Hadji on the right-hand side, not only is he fast as anything, but he's right-footed, which means he can whip across in without having to cut back onto his favoured foot as Bremer overruns the ball, but manages to get back to it. Here's Hadji on the right-hand side now. Wilson tries to dink one over the top, but the target is stationary. Centurion didn't have enough time on the ball to make the pass. Oh dear, they've got their passing in gear now. Oh, that's a bit of a dodgy tackle. Nyangbo into Wilson, maybe, no, can't quite get there. Ivanovic with another one over the top, which Worrell should deal with, and does. Frimpong chasing. And he comes away with the ball. Well, that wasn't what I was hoping for. But never mind, the ball comes away. Bremer's underneath it, wins the header. Here's Arcas. Into Wilson. Nyangbo, oh dear, Nyangbo. I mean, it was a poor pass to begin with. But Nyangbo could have made it a bit easier by showing some movement. Here's Yates. Wilson running onto it. I think it's covered. Now Souček gets it out to Gray, and West Ham can counter-attack down his right-hand side. Gray plays the ball into Haller. Between Bremer and his teammate, they managed to deal with the threat. Now here's Hadji. Into Wilson. I think that's a foul on Wilson. Indeed it is, so it will be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Not in a particularly dangerous area. So we'll just pass it short and start open play again. Yates from some distance out, and my lord, the goalkeeper had to make a save. Well, I mean, there wasn't much swerve on it, but the goalkeeper obviously felt more comfortable punching it over. Nyangbo at the near post, and Diaz claims the ball. Now the decision has to be made very soon. Do we stick with the personnel that are out on the pitch at the moment? Or do we change things up a little bit as Nyangbo makes a very intelligent run? Oh. And it all comes to nothing in the end, unfortunately. Tried to play a clever pass when really I should have just gone for the shot. Frimpong should get there. Yes, he does. Wilson, back to Hadji. Yates. Frimpong. Hadji again. Looking for Wilson, doesn't quite find him. But Frimpong will reclaim the ball. Forest can continue their attack. Oh dear, Antonio has managed to ghost in and claim the ball, and this could be trouble for Nottingham Forest, but Bremer is so big and strong that he's able to deal with the threat of Antonio, who he himself is no slouch. Well, Arcas went all in on that one, couldn't quite get there, and Lanzini gets away from his marker. Oh dear, oh dear. I should have made a change by now. I'm going to make one. It's going to be an attacking change, as Harry Wilson does eventually come off and Hernandez will come on, and we're going to play with two centre forwards very high up the pitch. And in fact, while we're at it, I know Hlošek's not in good form, but he's still a very good player. And Willems could do with coming off, but Zafuik's in such poor form that I don't really want to sub him on for Willems and then switch him with Frimpong. So perhaps a change for Yates, who has done well, but we need a little bit more quality in there, and Busquets should give us that, despite the fact that his form is not great. I still think that the reduction in points is probably... he's probably still a better player than Yates. Strong challenge on Willems. Gets the free kick. No need to rewatch it. We'll just play one down the line, see if Loschek can get onto it. Which he can very easily. He's not being marked particularly tightly. Plays it inside to Arcas. Here's Oriol Busquets. Back into Arcas. Nyangbo. Oh, it's a brilliant save by Diaz. What a save that is. Low down to his right-hand side. The ball had plenty of power on it. It's not his favoured foot, Nyangbo, but he's still deadly enough with it that he should have scored. And, well, will he be left ruining that with only 4 minutes of time left in this match? Loschek goes for the acrobatic. Doesn't quite manage it. Arcas gets the ball in the middle. Busquets out to Frimpong. Into Hadji now, who beats his man, but then beats himself. Loschek! Oh! That was a chance. That was a chance. Nyangbo. Oh, he's been tackled on the edge of the area. Surely a foul. And West Ham have gotten away with it. And it's a 0-0 draw. A score draw. A non-score draw. A board draw, if you will. Well, another board draw on the channel. It's just as well we've got the highlights. Otherwise, you wouldn't believe I could ever score a goal. Well, that's disappointing from Nottingham Forest's point of view. They dominated the game, but they just couldn't find that way through. Loschek, Hernandez and Oriol Busquets coming on and doing well enough for themselves. But really, we should have won that game. There's a couple of chances that Nyangbo had near the end. I would have put money on him scoring, but there we go. So a 0-0 draw against the West Ham side, who are flying high in the table. You have to say, given West Ham's position relative to our own, it's not a bad result at all. Looking at the other results, you can see Sheffield United, shocker, have managed to beat Tottenham 1-0, so we've gained a point on Tottenham. Manchester United have beaten Bournemouth, meaning that we've actually lost a little bit of ground on them. But let's have a look at the league table and see how everything bears out. So we're now 5 points behind Manchester United, and we're still 6 points behind West Ham, with Chelsea climbing above them into 5th. There's still an outside chance that we could qualify for Europe via league finish, but it's looking unlikely. I think our best route into Europe this year is going to be winning the Europa League, and I can't believe that I'm saying that. So tomorrow it's going to be the first leg of the Europa League semi-finals against Borussia Dortmund, and it's a home leg, which means that we go into the second leg knowing our fate pretty much already sealed one way or the other. I think tomorrow we're really going to have to concentrate pardon me, frog in my throat. We're really going to have to concentrate on keeping a clean sheet against the Germans tomorrow, and then hope that we can get something away from home in the second leg. But that's a worry for another day. I'm going to put the controller down for the night. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.